The KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
The pollen has really hit me lately, and I've had several of those sneezes this week where I'm like, hang on, and then it goes away, and you're like, oh no, and then, but bam, sure enough, it comes back, and when that bad boy blows, I mean, when Vesuvius goes, it's like, oh yeah, that's the stuff. That's the stuff.
Yeah. I was sitting on a tractor as a teenager, and you always got the Paul Harvey report there in the noon hour on the local radio station.
And now you know.
And I'll never forget him going, having to sneeze and then sneezing, one of life's great pleasures. Page 2.
Wow.
That's right. Page 2.
Good day.
Good day.
Paul Harvey, the man who told me both Keith Moon and John Bonham had died. That's where I found out both of those iconic drummers.
He call you?
On the way to school in the morning, in rock music, Keith Moon, drummer for The Who, dead at age 30.
Yeah,
And then a couple years later, Led Zeppelin, London, John Bonham, dead 32.
32.
Gonads are useful for their purpose, but they are no substitute for brains.
So God made a gonad. The rest of the story was a staple around. My mom loved Paul Harvey. I grew up with that guy's voice just banging around in my head. And now you know the rest of the story. And it would just, it worked every time. I was always enthused. I'd be like, I can't believe we have to listen to this again. And then, when I wouldn't hear Paul Harvey, I'd walk into school in the morning and feel like, not quite right. A little pebble, a little kind of a pebble in my shoe vibe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Same deal if you missed it. And Dad would stop. It's the only time Dad would stop working was when Paul Harvey's rest of the story was on. And then he'd just shake his head, that Paul Harvey got us again. And then it was right back to the grind.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
The neighbor's wife. So check this out on the show today. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know at about 7:50, 2 listeners will attempt to beat the toaster.
Oh, God,
a Friday tradition since 2023. We're sweating it already. Tonight, I'm going to be at the Turf Club with the Bagmen. We're rocking over there in St. Paul. There's a rumor that Brian Zepp will play cowbell. It's still unsubstantiated. Rumors are flying. I'm saying word on the street. I got my thumb on the pulse. Might be a little cowbell performance. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
My cowbell is out getting recoated, re-laminated. I don't know.
Attaboy.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll have it with me, but
Got any maracas?
I do. I've got maracas. I've got shakers. I've got a million things that you can put in your hand and make noise with. So, and then, I guess we all have at least one thing we can put in our hand to make noise with. Hey, listen, also, the KQ Karaoke Cruise is a week from tonight. We got an extra pair of tickets. We're going to do a dad joke off today. How about this? No phone calls, but please feel free to text in a dad joke.
Yeah.
We're gonna share a few an hour, and we're gonna pick one. 651-989-ROCK, the talk and text line. Text in a dad joke if you want, and there's a good chance. Well, there's a slight chance you might win a pair of tickets to the KQ Karaoke Cruise on the show today. Kirk Cousins is no longer with the Minnesota Vikings, to which I say good riddance. He's a cheater. That's right. That's right. The goodiest of the goody two-shoes of NFL quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins, has led Atlanta down the road of temptation, and they are being penalized. Check this out. The NFL has been investigating tampering allegations during free agency involving Kirk Cousins. They have taken a 5th-round draft pick away from the Falcons in 2025. They have fined the team $250,000, and the GM $50,000. Why? Because Kirk Cousins said when introduced as a new member of the Falcons, well, I was having conversations with Atlanta's head trainer during NFL negotiating period. That's not allowed under league rules. they were tampering, and Kirk admitted it because, well, maybe he's just really is that good a guy.
Well, he just sucks at being a bad guy, you know? Did you ever have your... we always had one buddy in the group that was the good guy.
Yeah.
And when we were up to no good, we're like, well, we can't invite him. He'll blow it. He'll just, spill the beans.
He'll squeal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a friend like that as a kid, and I had a tour manager like that on the road once. Every time there was anything possibly going awry or you're trying to cut a corner, he would like blow it out of the water. And we were like, dude, just if you know what, if saying nothing is not the same as lying. I mean, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Let it go. So, yeah, Kirk is, he's very happy to be with the Falcons right now. But, that 5th-round draft pick and $250,000 to Arthur Blank, owner of the Falcons, it's a bag of peanuts. But a 5th-round draft pick, that does matter in the NFL.
Yeah, it does.
Those deep picks, that's a bad one. I like the fact that Kirk was not discussing his future with the offensive coordinator or the quarterback's coach or the owner, but rather the head trainer. Hey, Kirk.
Yeah,
hey, Kirk.
Why are you talking to the trainer? Well, I suppose he had the Achilles injury, and maybe they were checking in to see, hey, how's that coming along, Kirk? How's the old Achilles feeling?
Kirk, I'm working with a new ankle wrap treatment. Now, granted, this is not, I haven't come out publicly with this. It's experimental, but I feel like I'm going to wrap an ankle in the way, and the humidity down here, trust me, you're going to need this. What I do is I take a piece of ice. I mean, what in the world were they talking about?
A good point. I don't know. Yeah, and the fact that, he doesn't, you would think someone would, somewhere along the line, I assume he was just aloof and had no idea that he wasn't supposed to be talking to anyone from any other organization at that time, let alone the one he ended up with for a king's ransom.
I just picture him like going into the negotiating period, and he's at home, and his cell phone rings. It's a 404 number, and he's like, 404? What area code is that? Hello? It's just, he's such a, what's the word? It's not a knave. It's naive. What do you call someone like that? A God-fearing Christian? I don't know. I don't know what you call him.
An evangelical. What is he? Is he an evangelical? I don't know.
I don't know.
Born again?
I didn't watch the thing.
He's a very, very wealthy man.
Yeah,
That's what he is. That's what we can all agree on.
What was he on? Quarterbacks, right?
Quarterback.
Right.
The Netflix show Quarterbacks.
The Netflix show Quarterback, the same people that produced that show are going to have a show this year called Receiver. Mm-hmm. And the trailer dropped yesterday, and it's all about JJ, baby. Justin Jefferson will be on that show. He's the first player shown in the video. Couple of quotes. First of all, I want to be the best player to ever do it. We love hearing that. And then he also says, I don't play for the money. I play for the love of the game. That's right. But you know what? But you practice and work out for the money. Don't kid you. No one plays on Sunday for the money. It's the other 6 days out of the week. Yeah. I'm excited about it. All right, we're up and running on a Friday. My favorite car ever? Easy. It's so easy. It's the death trap that I paid nothing for and ultimately gave away to someone else when I was done with it. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Friday, June the 14th. Bad company. Paul Rogers is horny. Man, he's feeling it. He wrote that song when he was in the band Free, and he played it for the guys in Free, and they were like, no, man, no, that's not our bag. And then he put together Bad Company, and they were like, oh, hell yeah, let's get, we're called Bad Company. Of course we feel like making love. What are you kidding me? Hey, Father's Day is this Sunday, and we've got an extra pair of KQ Karaoke Cruise tickets to give away, and the person who texts in the best dad joke might very well win some of those. 651-989-ROCK. Text in a dad joke if you got one, and you may well just end up with a pair of tickets.
So the rules for the dad joke off are text in your dad joke, and if it makes any of the dads in the room laugh, you win those KQ Karaoke Cruise tickets.
Oh,
so now, so in your mind, Ryder, are we
for hilarity to ensue?
Now, are we suppressing laughter to try to be cool, or are we just looking for genuine? That's actually funny. We're laughing out loud. How do you want us to play this?
I think we're looking for genuine laugh out loud funny. So,
all right,
get your game face on. I got one.
Might be here a while.
I'll laugh at anything, so I do not count. But it's the dads in the room.
Got it.
Kim from Roseville has the first entry. Why didn't the lifeguard save the hippie?
This is no
Because-
good for nothing hippie.
Because he was too far out.
I don't get it.
So it has to be
No, I do get it.
like a full guffaw, a big laugh.
I mean, I did kind of suppress a chuckle.
No,
you?
you didn't.
I thought,
You know what?
I thought it was, I mean, it's a dad joke for crying out loud.
That called for one of my Uncle Larry's famous.
Yeah, I would have, I had a chuckle in me, but I shut off my mic because I didn't want to give away the tickets on the first one,
Right.
See, Larry does two things. He does the fake laugh and then the fake run when he's in a crosswalk as if he's actually hustling, but he goes no faster.
Oh, I
he
love that.
Yeah, lifts the arms up a little more and then the shoulders get moving, but his speed does not change at all.
Yeah, that really helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally does. And then the which my cousin, his son, shortened eventually to simply going S instead of laughing. Just the letter S. That's all it was. That always worked. Just somebody says something, there's like a pause, and my cousin will just go S. always good for a laugh for me anyway. There's a Craigslist ad that is worth mentioning. It's in Minneapolis. There is a 1998 Mercedes E320 station wagon for sale, and somebody really wants to sell this car, and they want to sell it to me because I read this and I don't even want the car, but I just want to be a part of this person's life. This is I'm not going to read the whole thing, but here's just a few highlights of the Craigslist ad. This car is incredible. I actually don't even want to sell it, but every single person in my life is telling me I have to. I'm really tired, so I'm going to get rid of the old girl. That being said, this station wagon is immortal. It has been around for eons. It will continue to run long after we're dead. First built sometime in the late Pleistocene era, Neanderthal families used to drive it up onto the fjords to hunt mastodon. 10,000, and it goes on and on. Not for nothing, but this thing is a babe, hunk, non-binary, attractive person magnet. Get laid like crazy. It has rear-facing seats for drive-in movie theaters and makeout points. Pack 8 people and head to the nude beach, you pervert. This wagon doesn't judge. And it goes on and on. And that's not all. It comes with 2/3 of a gas tank already inside. That's all profit, baby.
Yeah.
A bunch of cassette tapes. You can have them. Husker Du, Leonard Cohen, that one Smashing Pumpkins album with 0 on it. Because let's be real, that's the only good Smashing Pumpkins song. It's all yours. Thank you, whoever wrote this. I hope you sell this car. It goes on and on and on and on. And towards the end, he says, anyway, $750 or best offer. I will consider trades such as a kayak, a baby goat, crossbow, or a dirt bike.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it'll be worth to spend the money just to meet that person who wrote it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. But if you need a 98 Mercedes wagon, there's one for $750 or a crossbow. So knock yourself out.
It looks like it's in decent condition.
It does.
Well, there's a bunch of rust.
It's just get some foil, rub it out.
Yeah.
So I had to get rid of a car because my family made me get rid of a car as well. I had a Toyota Prius for a few years. Zep, just hang on. Bear with me. No, I was on the road a lot in 2013, and on a couple of occasions I rented a car and I got a Prius twice. And this is why I loved it, because I could just see everything, like the windows, the size. It was the best vision I've ever had in a car. I felt like I was in a convertible. That's how well I could see, and I just was so attracted to that. And then I thought it was kind of cool that it was so quiet. Whatever. Got home and I needed a new car. I'd had a Volvo wagon for almost 20 years. And I was like, I'm getting a new car. I got a Prius. And for like 2 years, every time my kids got in it, they were like, oh my God, why did you get this car? So I thought, well, I'm going to keep it forever the way they're hassling me. I knew it was time to get rid of it when a friend sat in it and they started laughing when I put it in gear and it just sounds like a... and he goes, so does this thing beep when you put it in reverse like a golf cart? And the truth is, it did. I put it in reverse and it went beep.
Oh, that's cute.
And I was like, yeah, probably. This is enough.
You made your point.
I made my point.
You made the good stand. Listen, a good buddy of mine, George, drives a Prius still to this day. He puts on, he's a big old tough construction worker, hunting guy. We call him Indiana Jones. He wears the fedora, the whole thing. But he drives 1 million miles a year. And he's like, I'm just not spending money on gas. And, if I can't pass somebody, then I can't pass someone. But it was that movement several years ago, and we talked about it on the show at the time, and that was that there was a national movement among Prius drivers to drive the speed limit in the passing lane, to not let anyone pass.
My God, I would have never been a part of that.
In an effort to slow people down, conserve gas, and if you want to drive your big trucks, that's fine, and kill the planet, but we're going to slow you down by driving slow in the left lane. It was started out in Oregon, of course, and so that's when I got a chip on my shoulder about Priuses. But
this is the first I've ever heard of that plan, and I'm now retroactively horrified and ashamed of my previous attachment to a Prius.
I don't think it made it out of Oregon, but
good.
Yeah, you know how it is over there. It's good. It's good. The good comes with the bad, but
Not my favorite car I've ever had, I can tell you. My favorite car was the free Dodge Dart some guy I never met gave me once. That's the beater, the complete, the car that is on its last legs forever. Those are our favorites. And I'm sure we all have a favorite vehicle for no real reason. But and I'd like to get back into this. But now we need to take a quick break because we have to gear up and prepare ourselves for a Friday. Mike Evans, Hollywood Report.
We'll be right. Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line, 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is time to head west. The Mike Evans Hollywood Report.
Hey, good morning, Steve and Zap and Tony. Good morning to everybody. Welcome to Aloha Friday, Movie Review Friday. And just a reminder, every movie I talk about will be playing at Marcus Theaters. You can go see them this weekend or maybe during Father's Day. And by the way, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Or wait till Tuesday, $6 for any movie at Marcus Theaters. But it is Movie Review Friday, and despite being a Father's Day weekend, most of the news is about the kids. And we start off with opening today, Inside Out 2. The second in the franchise, the animated delight. Now a teenager, Riley is experiencing new emotions. Kids and parents will jointly enjoy this film. This is a Disney Pixar tag team. I mean, it's not quite Toy Story or anything, but it is really good. Rated PG, 100 minutes for the kids and parents, 3.5 stars. Also held over for the kids, the Garfield movie. And If, Imaginary Friends, both 3 stars. And dads, they got a movie for you too, held over, Bad Boys Ride or Die. It got 3 stars as well. So some good movies at Marcus Theaters. Oh, speaking of movies, did you guys see the 1998 movie Practical Magic with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock? They play 2 orphan sisters who come from a long line of witches. It cost $75 million back in 1998 to make that movie, but brought in only $46 million worldwide. It was called a comedy, a drama, a fantasy, but it was a financial disaster at the box office. However, thanks to a streaming success, if you know what I mean, there's going to be a sequel to Practical Magic, and Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock are going to star in it again. Hopefully with better results. TV news, the premiere of House of Dragons Season 2 is on HBO Sunday night. And a 3rd season of House of Dragons has been green-lighted, also will be on HBO. More TV renewals. A 3rd season of Missing Persons on Fox. Seth MacFarlane's Ted, renewed for a 3rd season on the Peacock Network. Also on Peacock and renewed, Law & Order, Organized Crime, Season 5. There's the 5th season renewal of The Equalizer on CBS. And while not confirmed, I'm hearing that NCIS Hawaii will be renewed in a couple of weeks. I certainly hope so. They haven't even started pre-production. They have just signed the contracts, but there's going to be a new TV show called Chop Shop. Chop Shop. It'll star Christina Ricci. And I think this is going to be a great series. It's a true crime series set against a funeral business in 1980 in the San Fernando Valley. I remember when this whole thing went down, and I think this is going to be a great series, and Christina Ricci is perfect. Can't wait. You know what's also great? It's Aloha Friday, no work till Monday. Mele, Kalikamaka, Holy Maka, Hiki Holy Kalani, Lani on the okay, the coo and the cock and rock and hooey, 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 hooey. Oh.
Aloha.
Hey, today's the last day to vote for KQ's Father of the Year. Check out the dads who made the cut at 92KQRS.com. KQ's Father of the Year will take home a brand new grill from Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores. $500 for Dennis Kirk, sponsored by Dennis Kirk and Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores. And now it is time to take a look back. It is June the 14th. On this day in 1990, Vinnie Johnson, the microwave from the Detroit Pistons, hit a 14-foot jumper to beat the Portland Trail Blazers in Game 5 of the NBA Finals. There was less than 1 second on the clock. That gave the Pistons their second straight title. They were only the third franchise to win back-to-back championships. That didn't happen again until 2 years later. On this day in 1992, the Chicago Bulls went back-to-back after beating those same Portland Trail Blazers. Oh, Michael Jordan afterwards was not as he had the year before, crying. He said, "No tears this time, just champagne. I can't express the way I feel right now. We went through a lot of adversity, me as an individual and us as a team. We stood tall at the end, and then the 90s were officially up and running. The Bulls, of course, won 4 of the next 6 NBA titles to get 6 in the decade."
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
We are we are accepting submissions, fathers, dad jokes. That's what we call them, dad jokes. Hit us on the KQ Talk and Text line, 651-989-ROCK. Text in those jokes. Ryder's going to share a few with us throughout the day. And if either of the dads on the show, Tony, Zepp, or myself, actually laughs, you might just win a couple of tickets to the karaoke boat cruise next Friday night. 651-989-ROCK. Text in those dad jokes. I mentioned earlier on the show that I had an old beater. I had a Dodge Dart that a guy I had never met gave me. He didn't actually give it to me. He just told me where it was and said the key is under the floor mat. If you can get to that parking lot, then the car is yours. And It was exactly what a free car, what you might expect a free car would be. It barely ran, but it beat the city bus. So I took it and I loved it. And when somebody says to me ever, "Hey man, the vehicles you've ever owned, what's your favorite?" Honest to God, that's my favorite car. Just because I never needed anything more than I needed that car. I never insured it. I didn't get the tags replaced or renewed. When I finally got a ticket, it was almost $300, but I was like, I had it for 10 months. That's $30 a month. This was a bargain. Mm-hmm. It's the best thing I ever did. Somehow survived. And then the car stopped working one day. And then a friend of a friend said, I got a guy who can fix anything. I said, send him over. He got the car working, and I said, just take it.
Yeah.
I just felt like, you know what?
Pay it forward. Or
it was
exactly.
It was given to me. I'm giving it to you. And I haven't seen it since late 1989, but it's still in my dreams. That baby blue, that Carolina blue Dodge Dart. Oh, with the peeling vinyl top. Oh. Those were the good old days.
Speaking of that, Mike here on the KQ Facebook post, 1974 AMC Hornet.
Oh, wow.
First trip through the car wash. I washed the vinyl top right off. Did not get any better from there in spite of different carburetors and other repairs. The 6-cylinder engine averaged 9 miles per gallon.
Yeah, man.
Tim has a Dodge Omni 1982. First new car, spent more time in the shop than in my driveway. Door handles kept breaking. I had to crawl in through the hatchback. When you see someone going in through the hatchback and up through the back seat into the bucket seat up there, they've got themselves a winner there.
Man, that is strong. Zepp, what's your greatest beater ever? What was the piece of crap?
Oh boy, I had a couple out there in South Dakota, but the one that I brought to Minnesota, the 1973 Caprice Classic, about a block long, 4 doors, but you could have gotten 8 doors on that thing. And like you, probably never. I'm sure I never insured it. I don't even remember buying it. I don't remember how I ended up with it, but I abandoned it to move to Boston for good. Going to Boston, not coming back, so I abandoned it on 32nd and Nicollet behind the apartment building, quarter tank of gas, keys in the ignition. Go to Boston for 3 months, doesn't work out. Come back to Minneapolis, and I thought, I wonder. Yeah, it was still there.
Still there. Wow.
So
That says it all.
Started it up, took it to South Dakota, but got 9 miles short of my destination in South Dakota, ran out of gas, and I left it there.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Tone, surely there's a beater in your past somewhere.
Oh, yeah. A few. Favorite, though, was the 75 Chevy Impala, which was the size of a townhome.
Yeah.
Just a huge boat.
Oh, yeah. And they had the
Beautiful.
classiest commercials. I remember the Impala commercials, but yeah, you get an old beater like that.
It could move, though, man. You'd hit the gas, boom.
I'm sure it had 8 in it.
Oh, I had my 74 Dodge Dart Swinger was like a slant 6. It was like a lawnmower engine. I mean, I could even work on it. It was like, I think I know how this works. And then a few years later, I actually bought a 64 Dodge Dart, still in the family, which is my way of saying for some bizarre reason I gave it to my brother. Push button transmission, electric convertible. It was badass. It was a 64 Dodge Dart. I bought it in 1994. It had 6,000 miles on it.
Oh, wow.
I bought it from the original owner for she just drove it to church for 30 years. That was it. But that car, it's a 2-door Dodge Dart. It is the size of a basketball court. It's incredible. The magnitude of the old car. 651-989-ROCK is the phone number if you want to share something with us on the horn. I believe Jim from Chaska is waiting. Jim, good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. Happy Father's Day early.
Thank you, brother. Thanks. Happy Father's Day to you, if that's appropriate. What do you got for us?
I had a old lady that was like in her 70s. She had a 1972 Duster that the leaf springs popped through the back trunk. And the car started. She wanted $100 for it, but she goes, you can't drive it because it doesn't run. You can't drive it on the road because it will just scrape. So I said, I'll take it. So I came back, and I had some 2x4s, and I wedged them down, and I put in a jack, and I jacked up the trunk rim, and I got everything pushed away, and I put some other 2x4s and wedged them in there so the leaf springs would be level. And I drove that car for 2 years for $100.
Sure you did.
And I sold it for $300 when I sold it.
Attaboy. With the 2x4 still in it?
Yes, I told the guy, I said, you got to keep these in here or you're not going to be able to run the car. And I did upgrade them to 4x4s when I got it home, though.
Yeah, sure. Something a little sturdier wouldn't rot out quite as quickly.
Nope, I used treated lumber. I was good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great, Jim. Thanks for the call, brother.
Have a good one. Bye.
On the Facebook page, I should say, Doug wrote a 2004 Ford Taurus. By the time I traded it in, the subframe was being held up with zip ties. It would misfire. It would misfire if it was foggy. The paint was peeling. The transmission was slipping, and the EGR clogged and burned up a hose. The cab smelled like exhaust. Someone asked me what I thought it was worth, and I told them 30 cents a pound.
Is that what they're getting at the scrapyard? Denise.
I guess so. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Denise on the KQ Facebook page had a Ford Tempo. She was on a little bit, but basically it just didn't start once the temperature hit 20 degrees or less. Not a good Minnesota car.
Oh, no, I would say not at all.
Oh, the 1968 Opel Manta. The doors wouldn't stay closed, and the motor would stay on high rev whenever it was started on a cold day. Just ran at max RPMs all the time.
This is great. Brenda wrote this, and I have been in a car that had this same problem. The driver's door didn't always shut tightly. That's one thing. The driver's seat latch was broken, so every time you put on the brakes, you would go flying forward, and sometimes it would just randomly die at a stop sign. The seat sliding forward on the brakes, I've been in that car before.
Yeah, yeah. My brother had a Ford. I don't remember what it was. It was a 1960 something. I remember Dad dragging it home, towing it home. It had the hood strapped to the roof. But anyway, they ended up getting it running. But that thing, when you held it, you had to grip the steering wheel with all your power, because if you just let loose on it a little bit, it would take a 90-degree turn straight into the ditch. Just a hard left. And I mean, it didn't drift. It just zagged. So you were constantly riding the left part of that wheel. And every once in a while, your mind would wander, and then all of a sudden you were in the ditch.
When I had that 74 Dodge Dart, I finally got pulled over. That was brought me to the end of the run there when I got the tickets for no insurance, no tag, blah, blah, blah. But for the year I drove that car, every time I drove past a cop, I thought, here it comes. Because just looking at that automobile, any cop would be like, okay, hold on. I got it. There's something. There's got to be something wrong with this. A police officer in Nashville, Tennessee was fired last month after a traffic stop. The cop himself was fired. It wasn't an actual traffic stop. It's a traffic stop that was filmed for an OnlyFans video, and the officer was in his actual police uniform. Now, if you're saying to yourself, what's OnlyFans? Well, it's a I don't know what OnlyFans says it is, but about 90% of the videos uploaded to OnlyFans involve, if not nudity, straight up porn. And this guy named Sean Herman, a 33-year-old Nashville police officer, has been charged with 2 felonies for filming one such video in his uniform. We have a little audio from the traffic stop video.
Told you were going too fast. Nobody listens to me. You're going to get a ticket.
I'm going to show my...
No, you're not.
Watch me. Just watch.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Officer Jones, MPD. You know where I pulled you over?
No.
All right, well, I got you going 65 and I'm 45 back there, okay? You have your license or registration on you?
I actually don't have it in this car, but what if I show you these?
24. I can see tits on the internet anytime.
Well, what if you...
Oh, my God. What if I show you these? That's like the old Cheech and Chong. Hey, lady, did you order a pepperoni pizza? Well, here's the pizza, and here's the pepperoni.
Does it seem harsh for a little video? 2 felony counts and arrested? I mean, it seems like one of those things where, hey, you got to clean out the cans at the county jail this weekend or something like that. That seems harsh. But I guess, they have their rules.
Well, he is in his uniform.
He's in his uniform. We had a police officer here. What was it? A couple of years ago, she had an OnlyFans account and did a traffic stop, and the guy said, "I recognize you from your OnlyFans account." There was a bit of a brouhaha there, but
that's right.
Maybe they're cracking down on that stuff. Yeah, and it doesn't show his face, but it has his patches, and they were able to track it. But 2 felony counts. Ouch, babe. For
his, he used the name in the video. He said, "I'm Officer Johnson," which
that's his real
just
name.
No. That's just his. That's his porn name.
Yes, of course.
Which, of course, reminds exactly reminds me of the fact that I spent years of my life with Earvin Magic Johnson as my favorite basketball player, my favorite athlete. I love basketball because of those 80s Lakers. And I was probably almost 40 the first time it hit me. Oh, my God, Magic Johnson's the greatest porn name of all time. How did we all miss that? I will never understand how we missed that entirely.
I don't think he did.
Oh, I don't think he did at all. He didn't miss much, if memory serves. There's no question about that.
Connect with us on the KQ Talkin' text line, 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Friday, June the 14th. Okay, in a few minutes, we're going to play Beat the Toaster. We had 2 callers, but one of them dropped off. So if you want to get in on Beat the Toaster, and if you do, there's something wrong with you, call 651-989-ROCK right now. The first caller in, 651-989-ROCK, will have a chance to compete for Celeste Barber tickets. And while we await contestant number 2, can I remind you that the KQ Karaoke Cruise is, in fact, back. A week from tonight, June 21st, on Paddleford Riverboats, 2 karaoke stages, drinks with the KQ crew, free food from Lucky's 13 Pub. Tickets are on sale at 92kqrs.com, sponsored by Alexander Exteriors and Dennis Kirk. However, you may, if you want to share a dad joke with us, you may get a couple tickets on the side there, because on the Talkin' text line, we are taking text submissions for dad jokes. If you can get one of the dads to laugh, you're going to get yourself a couple tickets on that boat. What's up, Ryder?
Yeah, it's Dad Joke Off today, and I got some serious contenders. Charlie in Apple Valley, 3 fish in a tank, and the one turns to the others and said, "Do either of you know how to drive this thing?" No rim shot, nothing? Poor Charlie.
I have to wait. I mean, that's a potential laugher right there, but now we have a contest going on, so.
Well, I
wait this out.
I cleared my throat after. Does that count?
No, that doesn't. No. Okay. We need a good laugh.
I mean, I almost laughed just because it is the Army's birthday today. Happy birthday, Army.
Certainly is.
Yeah, all right. And then you've got your tank in there. Your caisson's rolling along, but we're going to have to do just a hair better.
Hey, what did one wall say to the other? "I'll meet you at the corner." No?
No, I didn't even shut my mic off for that one.
Yeah. Boy.
What's the difference between a rectal thermometer and an oral thermometer?
Damn you.
Taste.
Boy, I mean.
No.
Taste.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Right.
Come on.
Cripes.
Come on. What are we doing here this morning? You know what that was? I'm going to...
I think Tony's ready with the Beat the Toaster stuff
right.
if you want to start.
Yeah.
Please.
Fair enough. Let's do it, Tony.
All right, let's play. What do you say? That's all you have to do. Beat the toaster. It's time again. Here's what we do. We pop a slice of bread into the toaster. Here in the studio, we're going to give you a category. Then you name as many things that pop into your head as possible in 15 seconds before the toast pops. It's fun. It's stressful. Prizes at stake. Beat the toaster.
It's fun for us.
It is indeed to do.
All right, who is contestant number 1, Tony?
Number 1, we have our pal Jeff from Baldwin.
Jeff, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you ready to beat the toaster, my man?
I'm going to give it a try.
It's the old sportsman's college effort. What the hell am I trying to say? Screw it, Tony. Let's see what Jeff has up his sleeve.
I like his fighting spirit.
There it is. That's what I was trying to say.
Jeff, we're going to start off with the first round is kind of a warm-up. Nice warm piece of toast. Why don't you go ahead and tell me some typical common Father's Day gifts? Go ahead.
Gift cards, golf outings, balloon rides, parachute jumping, tools,
Wow.
Not bad at all.
Radios.
Nope.
Hey, we're done, Jeff. We're done.
The toast has popped.
Yeah.
But my God, I'm doing this all wrong. Golf outings, balloon rides, parachute jumps. Good Lord.
The hell?
My daughter gave me a parachute jump. It was really fun.
Was it out there in Baldwin, Wisconsin?
Yes.
Yes, I've jumped out of a plane over there once or twice myself. You didn't end up in the old the dairy sewage pit over there, did you?
That's a soft landing.
No power lines either.
Good man.
Well, Jeff, before the ding, we got 5. Mm-hmm. So a strong start for round 1. Well played, sir. Happy Father's Day in advance. We're going to put you on hold and go to caller number 2. Who we got, Tony?
Number 2 is our buddy Mark.
Yes, sir.
Mark, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you feeling like it's time for some toast?
I'm very, very hungry right now.
Attaboy. All right. Well, round 1 is usually a little easier. It's a bit of a warm-up. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you much.
All right, Marky Mark. Why don't you go ahead and tell us typical common things that dads might like to do in their spare time? Go.
Fish, golf, go to baseball games, football games, cut the lawn, road trips, bowling, hitting the bar.
Yeah.
Hitting the bar.
Right on. Fishing, golfing, baseball, football, lawn, road trips, boom. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow.
Woo!
Done the Funky Bunch proud.
Man, hitting the bar for crazy 8s right there. That was strong, Mark. Very, very strong effort. Right now, you've got a 3-point lead over Jeff. But, gentlemen, I do have to remind you, round 2 is when we separate the wheat from the chaff around here usually. Tony, let's get to separating.
All right, let's do that. Jeff, you ready to rock? There are many superheroes that have strong and impressive powers. You know, you got your Superman, your Iron Man. Go the opposite. Think of superheroes that are not super, Their powers are not impressive. What are their names? Go.
I don't have. Oh boy. I got nothing. I got.
I'll give him one. Right. I got nothing, man.
You know, that's where you need to have watched that very average movie that I seem to love more than your average person, Mystery Men. You guys ever watch that?
No.
Stiller, Greg Kinnear, Jeffrey Rush is in it. William H. Macy is in it.
No.
They've got the worst. There's, in fact, Paul Rubens plays the spleen. His power is farting. He throws down major farts, and then Mr. Furious is Ben Stiller.
Well, I can do that.
Yeah, well, I know. But you would have had to been like an oddball like me, and you could have come up with the shoveler, the bowler, the spleen.
I don't know where it comes from, but when Tony read that off, he said, what would some of those superheroes' names be? The first thing I thought was Slug Boy.
Yeah, Slug Boy is a good one.
Slug Boy
Pencil Head.
Slimy.
The Waffler.
Pencil Head, yeah.
The incompetent.
I don't watch many movies, apparently.
That was difficult, man.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Skunked on that one.
It's the way the toast burns, baby.
All right, Jeff, hang tight for a second. We got to see how Mark's going to finish here. Mark, are you ready for round 2?
I don't think so. Not after that guy.
Boy. Come on, let's see what Tony's got up his sleeve. We got to play out the side.
All right, Marcus. For some reason, you've decided to make Jell-O. Name some things, anything that you could put there in the mold. Go.
Fruit. Chocolate chips. Let's see. What else? Well, that's a toughie. Jell-O, huh? Cereal.
Okay, could have been anything. All right.
Cereal.
3 solid items.
Golf tees. Whatever. We would have taken anything.
I swear there were those carrots and celery, and why would you? I wasn't a big Jell-O fan to begin with, but then they started putting stuff in there.
A sock.
Mark, well played, sir. It looks like you are today's winner. You've got Celeste Barber tickets, State Theater, June 20th. Jeff, thanks for calling in and trying, brother. Great effort on your part. I wish you guys both a great weekend. All the best.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! There you have it.
Good job, fellas.
Yeah, that was a good job. We've been talking about cars a lot today. Old beaters, crazy stories from our cars. Check this out. Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Hang on, got to let the song play. Wow.
You're such a musician.
Yeah, it just makes me feel good to hear that.
And that's
all right. If it were going to make roads safer and if it were going to prevent speeding, what would you say to the suggestion that gas pedals be harder and harder to push the faster you go?
No safety hazard there.
Starting next month, there will be cars in Europe that will be required to have tech that alerts you if you're speeding.
Yeah.
It will alert you you're speeding. You'll be able to turn the feature off, though, so I'm not sure what the point is. Some people want it added to cars in America as well. Insurance companies do a lot of polls. Surprisingly popular idea. Over half Americans think it would be fine to feature to okay. Over half of Americans polled said it would be okay to feature that in your car. The beginning of every trip, you're safer, helps you avoid a ticket. They want the car to say, slow down.
Well, I mean, I have that feature in the truck right now. I can ignore it marvelously.
It's called a speedometer, right?
Yeah, it does, but it goes red. When you go over the speed, 2 miles an hour over the speed limit, it turns red, which I think is cool.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah, you want to be in the red.
I want to be in the red,
your
man.
goal.
That makes me feel like a badass, like a freaking NASCAR driver out there.
The idea that as you sped up, once you were going beyond the speed limit, the gas pedal would be harder and harder to push down, that seems problematic to me for sure.
It does. It sounds like a workout, I want to pin that thing now. Yeah. Now it sounds like a challenge.
I've got a cramp.
Better than what they've come up with out in California. They've already introduced this legislation. I'm not sure. This was a while ago. It may have failed at the state level.
It will require cars and trucks that are manufactured or sold in California to contain what we call speed governors or speed limiters that physically prevent the vehicle from traveling more than 10 miles an hour above the speed limit. It'll still be illegal to go above the speed limit, of course, but it will be physically impossible to make the car go more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Why don't you go jump in the ocean?
Yeah, let me tell you something. When I'm got to get to that emergency room stat and the car's like, sorry, Steve, you are only allowed to go 9.5 miles over the speed limit. Well, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah. I don't think, like I said, that was at the state level. I don't think it made it to the Cali legislature.
We've all had beaters that had problems of their own before we let someone stick more things on them. On the KQRS Facebook page, Christopher wrote 1979 Dodge Omni. I'm familiar with that car. My brother Jim had one of those. 3 of 4 door handles broken. Hatch wouldn't stay up. Windows wouldn't go down. Engine was hard to start. Accelerator stuck to the floor if pressed too hard. Dad installed a manual choke. Had to work the choke, turn the key, and work the pedal to get it started. It was like a mini cardio workout.
Yeah. I mean,
how drunk were American auto workers in the 1970s?
Fairly.
Wow.
I imagine pretty liquored up. Jennifer had a Dodge Shadow convertible backup. The top was bad. Key was stuck in the ignition. When you'd stop at the top of an off-ramp, the engine would start on fire. We figured out if you got on it again, the fire would go out because of the top and the key. I always thought I'd come out of the store one day and it would be gone, but no such luck.
No
sure.
Just a little engine fire. No big deal.
Whatever it takes. I mean, come on. Live a little. What's a fire between friends? Jill wrote 82 Chevette. Drove to New York in July. The heat was stuck on full blast. Been there as well. Been in a car that you could not turn the heat off. It was a Maverick. What was that? A Ford Maverick. And my buddies, the Schauses, they had 2 of them. They had the Mav and then what they called the Field Mav, which was the one that was basically for parts for the newer Mav. And the heat never turned off in that car. We'd have the windows down in the summer, drive into the hot stop to play video games and just be sweating bullets by the time we got there.
You boys ride your bikes here or what?
Yeah, it would have made a lot more sense.
Oh, I like this one from Randy. Chrysler LeBaron had a T-roof. It didn't seal tightly. If it rained, I would get a lap full of water when I put it in reverse. That would suck.
I had an old Mazda RX-3 that was such a cheapy little heap that you had to start it with a choke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The old choke, absolutely.
Like a lawnmower.
And then you would flood it,
and
then you'd have to let it sit for a little bit. God forbid you had to get anywhere in a hurry.
Lori Ann wrote 1989 Ford Thunderbird. Every part, including oil filter and air filter, that was supposed to be the manufacturer part, according to every part book at the parts store, was not the part size on my car. There were metric and standard tools needed. The auto parts personnel stated Detroit basically got rid of all their extra inventory and put it into that year's model. Always had to take the old part in and pray the store could figure out which part it was. The engine was configured in a way that 4 spark plugs couldn't be accessed easily. They were in the rear and underneath the engine block, working blind.
How did Detroit ever fail?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Yeah,
man, oh boy. It's funny. It was a big deal in like 79 or 80. We bought a Datsun, like a 210, and it was a big thing. My dad and my mom, they're Detroit people. We had family members at Ford for generations, and my dad was finally like, I know this. We put the key in that Datsun, and we turn it over, and the car starts.
Yeah.
Every time. It was like the bar was pretty low at the time.
Oh, yeah. There was a reason it flipped. The whole market thing flipped, and then Detroit had to get its act together. But they had to be forced to get their act together. By the American consumer.
We got dad jokes today. Hit us up via text, 651-989-ROCK. If a dad joke gets either of the dads on this show, Tony, Zepp, or myself, to laugh, you might pick up a couple tickets, or you will pick up a couple tickets to the KQ Karaoke Cruise. Do we have any worth sharing right now, Ryder, or we need to wait a minute? Have you got another dad joke?
Sure, I got another dad joke. This one I think is a pretty good contender. It might actually make you laugh It is...
I mean, does that mean we're supposed to laugh?
Of course you're supposed to laugh. I mean, that's the game. Hey, dad joke from Bob. My penis was in the Guinness Book of World Records, but the librarian told me to take it out.
All right, come on, you guys. I can't not laugh at the rectal thermometer than not laugh at a good penis joke.
That's true.
Especially pulled out in a library. I mean, who amongst us have... Never mind.
Wow.
That one was from our friend Bob, the hummus guy.
Oh, well, see, I think Bob's worthy.
Guy.
Yeah, thanks. I love hummus.
Oh, hell yeah.
Are we counting that as a laugh?
That
was a pretty prominent.
Wait, do we? What does it sound like when Zepp laughs? I'm always curious. Is there?
Hold on.
If we only had a way to hear Zepp laugh.
Oh, yeah. If we only had that hand, I think I've got one right here.
That's so disturbing.
I love it.
Oh, that was not the same as what Zepp just did.
No, that's not.
This is right, or you may not know this. This is completely AI generated. This is not me. Pretty cool, huh?
That's so weird.
In fact, I'm not even here today. This has all been AI generated. Whenever I'm in trouble with management, I'm like, it's that damn AI Zepp. I think it nailed me.
Wow.
I think so too. All right, so then we're still waiting. Dad joke.
We're still waiting.
Still underway.
Okay.
I think we're gonna know when we get a winner. I think it'll be clear.
All right.
I certainly hope so.
It has to make at least two of us laugh. I think that's the litmus test right there.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm starting to get a little hungry. This is about the time of day when my thoughts do turn to food, and all I can think about is I'm sorry I'm not in Philadelphia, because if I were, I could just go out and climb a utility pole and get some meat and cheese. Yeah, I'll explain. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zepp, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Friday, June the 14th. Tonight, my band Bagmen will be at the Turf Club in St. Paul. That's just in a few hours. We'll be sound checking. We'll be rocking. Zepp is going to open the show with some of his poetry. It's going to be great. Dad jokes and poetry from Brian Zepp at the Turf Club tonight. And then Bagmen will close the show. That's how that's appropriately going to be listed.
All right.
If you got a chance to come out and see a rock and roll show, I'd recommend it highly. We're going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a city for which I have very little affection. It's just the angriest place on earth. I've been there many times, and there's never been, even when I'm having fun, I'm always aware of the fact that I'm about 3 seconds away from someone just trying to smack me upside the head. It's just that kind of town.
Yeah, that's where my Aunt Elaine lives, and she wasn't born and raised there. It was Central PA, but ends up over there in Philly, a hop and a skip. And that's who she is in the family. She's the unhappiest person in the family. There's my hippie Aunt Jane. There's my mom, Dottie. It's just sweet. And then there's Aunt Elaine with just a scowl. You know, it's just hard.
Yeah.
It's sculpted into her face. And then everything she says to you is kind of a veiled insult or a backhanded compliment, one of those things. So, yeah, Philly.
Well, these are folks who eat scrapple in the morning with their eggs.
Yeah, they threw snowballs at Santa.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. They certainly did. Scrapple, typically made of hog offal, such as the head, heart, liver, and other trimmings, boiled with any bones attached to make a broth. Then they remove the broth. They dry it. It turns into like a mush, and they serve it as a breakfast meat.
All right, the recipe, the Dutch recipe we used, know it well. We used it out in South Dakota. We'd get a hog, slaughter it, 3 families would split it. All that bacon, the sausage was so good. Ham, hocks, and then there was the scrapple. And you're right, all the parts just went in there. And they used flour, however, and made it into bread loaves. It was green bread loaves with hog chunks in there. Yeah, you thought Spam was bad. We had scrapple.
Something else about Philadelphia is they just love to climb poles. I mean, I don't mean like that 6'9" guy named Kowalski. I mean like utility poles, light poles. They love getting up high. Every time you see a team celebrating a victory in Philadelphia, the people are on the poles. There's an Italian market festival every year, and they have a tradition where they dangle Italian meats and cheeses from a greased pole. And visitors then attempt to climb the greased pole in order to claim the prizes. Okay? I mean, there's a little audio about this pole thing in Philadelphia. Check this out.
People just like to be on elevated surfaces, first off. It's a cultural thing in the city. When we won the Super Bowl a few years back, everyone was climbing poles. We just love to climb poles in this city.
I just feel like it's so unique. People climbing poles for meats and cheeses. It's a sport.
Imagine like you're in Rome, Italy. You're in Rome or Athens, Greece, the birthplace of democracy. And someone's like, so what do you do where you're from? We climb poles. Yeah,
for meat and cheese.
We climb greased poles for meat and cheese. Well, a month ago, after the festival happened, organizers brought in a crane on the final day of the festival to remove all the leftover meats and cheeses. But then weather conditions led to a surge of visitors late in the day. They couldn't get the stuff down as planned. Big sacks of meat and cheese have been dangling from this pole for a month.
As if Philly didn't smell bad enough.
Very hot, very humid. And now the festival organizers say, well, no, we're working on plans to get another crane. But the market's so crowded, it's just really hard to know how to get somebody in there. So seriously, man.
Just take the pole down, whatever it is, unbolt it, knock it down, run into it, whatever you got to do. You've got rotting bags of meat and cheese at the top of a pole in mid-June in Philly.
I think it'd be picked at by critters or flying creatures.
Probably got all sorts of buzzards hanging around there if they can survive in the Philly smog.
Speaking of noxious smells, Bobby Flay, the very famous chef, is teaming up with Pepsi in time for Father's Day to create a new cologne, and it smells like cola, specifically Pepsi Cola, and grill smoke. What?
He cooks Mexican.
It's a cologne. They're calling it smoked, and smoked is described grilling inspired cola-own, not cologne. Cola-own. Oh my God.
Call me old fashioned, but if you're going to smell like grill smoke and you're a dad, you're going to earn it, right? You're going to get there and get in, burn something and get the grill. So again, a grill you never clean, so every time you fire it up, it just smokes a little anyway. It's kind of like the top of a Philly light pole, it's got old meat and cheese grilled into it. But yeah, you don't buy a frickin' cologne.
On Father's Day weekend, especially, if I'm thinking about a cologne, if I see a guy grilling out and he's drinking a Pepsi, I'm not eating that guy's food.
No?
Put a Pabst in his hand, an old Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But give the guy the champagne and beers at the summer grill. That I get. Get beer and grilled smoke. That's one thing. Soda? Come on. The hell?
Shoulder to shoulder with you on this one.
Speaking of beer, Hulk Hogan that's right. Hulk Hogan has a new company, Real American Beer.
Isn't this about 2 decades late for him? Isn't he?
Might be.
He jumped the shark a while back.
That's right, brother.
He says bringing America together one beer at a time, coming to a city near you. Yeah. So the Hulkster's new brew, it's being described as an American-made, easy-drinking light lager, which tells me it's just Coors Light with a different wrapper on it. I mean, it's like, come on, easy to drink, yeah.
Yeah, right. All right. Again, Hulkster, they've given up on the beer. They moved on to the edibles. I think the old washed-up celebrities, Mike Tyson and everyone, they're going with the edibles now. That's where the money's at, not on crappy old piss beer, but more power to them.
Do we think that Hulk Hogan actually drinks beer, or it's not good for his career? The guy's body was his trade. I think back to the Hulkamania days. I don't see a lot of suds involved.
Mm-hmm. I'll boggle from your death if you don't watch out.
Yeah,
well, fair enough.
Right. I don't know if his body's a temple anymore.
By the way, he will be at Big Discount Liquor in South St. Paul this Tuesday appearing with Great American Beer.
Well, if he wants to jump on the show, I'll take everything back I said. Maybe I'll hold out till I try one. But, all right. Good for the Hulkster.
It is good for the Hulkster. And speaking of beer, real quickly, a woman from A woman from the Canary Islands, that's a set of islands off the coast of Spain. Her father is getting remarried, and she's very excited about the fact that she's got a family wedding to go to. It's back up in England. It's 1,700 miles away. It's a great destination wedding. She's going to go. She booked her plane ticket. She arrived and showed up. She was 1 year early.
Well, does she talk with Pops much, or what the hell happened?
Somehow she got her dates wrong, as in the final part of the date where it says the year. Literally showed up for a wedding. Her dad goes, "What are you? It's next year."
Well, she's in the Canary Islands. It's. I
wasn't really going to mention that, but then we're talking about beer, and I'm like, oh, I get it. She's just drunk all the time. It's the only way that happens.
It wasn't too long ago. I'm going to zip out to Montana when we have some time off and see some friends out there and my kiddo. And I was talking with one of them the other day, and I said, hey, listen, and you've got that big event coming up. I'll see you guys here in a month or two. And he goes, yeah, that's in 2025 , Brian. I was like,
just
nice.
A little off.
I'll still see you, though. Yeah, I was off by a year, but it's not like I just showed up for a destination wedding a year off.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
On the KQ text line, we've been soliciting dad jokes all day. We've got a couple tickets to the karaoke cruise to give away for the one dad joke that elicits a genuine laugh from any of the dads on the show. So we're up. We probably ought to try to figure out if we're actually going to have a winner here. Ryder, do we have any worth sharing?
I got a few.
All right.
All right, let's go. Vince from St. Cloud. Why are calendars so popular?
Why are calendars so popular? I have no idea.
Because they have a lot of dates. No, nothing.
Just another throat clear.
When I die, I definitely am being cremated. It's the last chance I'll have a smoking hot body.
You guys are going to rue the day you did not laugh at the rectal thermometer joke.
Yeah, we probably did miss the boat already.
Jack in Circle Pines, I threw a ball for my dog last weekend. Some people thought it was a bit excessive, but I think he looks great in a tuxedo.
No.
We're getting close. Surely we're looking for the bullseye.
I like this one. Wally in Brooklyn Center. Did you hear about the guys that dipped his testicles in glitter? Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Okay, you know what? I like that one.
It's not bad.
All right. Okay.
Pretty nuts. I dig it. Yeah. Wow.
Was that the AI laugh?
No, that wasn't even the AI laugh. That was the real deal. We're starting to morph. I don't know where I start and AI ends.
All right.
Nuts.
You're pretty.
Pretty nuts. The first one that got me. Oh my God, that's so awful.
You want to? Are we settled on Wally, or do you want to hear one more?
Let's try one more, and then it's going to be pretty nuts or whatever you're about to share with us.
What did one sagging boob say to the other sagging boob? We better perk up, or they'll think we're nuts.
All right, I think pretty nuts is going to be the one. Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty nuts.
Congrats, Wally. I know that he's always checking in and supporting, so I'm pumped that he's going to be on the boat cruise.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Wow, that was a bit more of a jungle walk than I was expecting.
My heart, I know I'm fine.
We've been talking about beaters on the show throughout the morning. Just horrible cars we've had. The KQ Facebook page is full of great ones. Chad wrote, bought an 85 F-150, got $400 in 1998 for it with a leaking fuel tank, no working fuel gauge. It overheated on the first night. It got below zero, wouldn't hold coolant afterwards. Got it into a heated garage, started taking it apart, found the previous owner did some work on it and never torqued anything down. Everything was finger tight, which explains why a gas engine sounded like diesel. Turns out he also put so much stop leak in the cooling system that the coolant couldn't circulate, causing the overheating and cracked engine block. I owned that truck for 3 months.
Yeah, I've poured some stop leak in there. You can pour too much in, yeah.
My buddy had a 1970 Dodge Tempest, I believe, and we took a road trip we were going from Atlanta to Washington D.C., an overnight roadie to see Tom Waits. I mean, what a great thing to do in 1987. Sure. And as we're about 30 minutes outside of Atlanta on I-85 North, dead cold winter night, he says, my friend driving this 1970 Ford Tempest, hey, you can't put too much oil in a car, can you?
As a matter of fact.
And I go, he goes, I mean, this thing just guzzles, so I figured I'd just really put a lot in there. And I went, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not a good idea. I mean, as I'm saying it. Oh, man, we slept in that car on the side of I-85 in Anderson, South Carolina that night. It was a bit of just the beginning of one of the great road trip stories of all time.
All right, here's a good strander on the side of the road. Sarah, my sister's Toyota Corolla stranded me on Highway 10 in Lincoln, Minnesota back in the late 90s next to a discarded pair of men's white underwear in I am not kidding, yeah. So you had to sit it out with the tidy whities. How did they end up in the ditch? There's a story.
I was in a Ford, an AMC Gremlin in 1987 on a drive from Jacksonville Beach back to Atlanta, and the muffler was coming undone. So the car sounded like a Sherman tank as it was, driving up the road. 3 of us in the car. We pulled over. My buddy David, in an attempt to rig up the muffler back into place, he had 3 items with which to try to tie it off. And somehow he came up with this plan. A Michael Jordan beach towel, about a 6-foot length of yarn, and his own tidy whities, his Fruit of the Looms. He used all 3 items somehow to make this happen. It did not last very long at all. And that's so at the end of it, we pulled the car over when those things ignited and there was flames coming out of the bottom of the car. And so his tidy whities ended up in the ditch along I-75. Maybe it was a similar story. Maybe somebody was using their underwear to fix a muffler and it just went awry.
Oh, my
gosh. My buddy Mark Sherwood's car door would come off all the time. He held it in place with a bra.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
It worked.
My buddy had it was like a 1970 Monte Carlo, and he was very proud of it because it was last year, the big engine or whatever it was, but it was also a 4-speed manual, I remember. Yeah. And the only way we could get it started was to push it. We had to push that sucker, and it's a big old Monte Carlo. We took it to Florida, from Minnesota to Wisconsin to pick up his aunt and niece, and then down to Florida. It used more coolant than it did gas, and once we got to Tennessee, it was no problem finding a hill all the way into Florida.
Nice.
But going through the Midwest, you'd be surprised. We get a little panicky. We're like, all these gas stations are on flat ground, man. You've got to find a hill. But we made it to Florida.
Where there's a will, there's a way, baby.
Yes, sir.
We've been having fun all week on the morning show playing FAT, Father Aptitude Tests. The Zepp girls, Taylor and Sydney, kicked off the week with a great appearance. My son Connell, my daughter Marley came on the show. Ryder's dad Jim yesterday, a phenomenal round. And we're saving the best for last. The Lee boys, as they're known around here, 15-year-old Hudson, 11-year-old August. Gonna come in. Tony's sons are gonna let us know how much they have not paid any attention to their father's favorite things in the world. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I got a good feeling about this one.
Babies.
That's Tony's babies, the Lee boys, joining us. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zepp, Tony, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show for Friday, June the 14th. Tonight in St. Paul's Turf Club, my band, The Bagmen, is appearing. I really hope you, if you feel like getting out and seeing a rock show, you choose this one to go to because we're going to have a good time. It's a lot of fun, and it's a Friday night, and for God's sakes, you're going to see Zepp. You're going to see, you might see Tony, you might see Ryder. Who knows who you're going to see? I'm going to be up there. I'm going to be the real sweaty guy. So come on out, say hi. let's have a good time. What do you say?
I think you're, it's a sell for you. You're coming up just a little bit short on this sell. First of all, no one's going to come there to see Tony or myself. That's cool, though, that you threw that in there.
Well, that hurts.
You never know. You might get a stray stage 5 clinger to show up, somebody from my past.
Okay.
And it's your band. So let me just say it for you and to the listener. This band kicks ass. I'm not even saying, I don't have to kiss Steve's ass. I have a contract.
Speaking of ass kissing.
I don't have to. It's not in my nature generally unless there's money on the table. There's not a penny on the table.
No, there's not.
I haven't purchased my own damn ticket. What I'm telling you is, and I don't purchase a lot of tickets, what I'm telling you is you won't be disappointed if you come see this band. They actually kick ass. I'm this much of a fan, but don't tell Gorman.
The boys rock. They do rock.
Oh, listen. Hey, speaking of boys who rock, okay, all week long we've been doing the Father Aptitude Test here on the KQ Morning Show. We've been having a lot of fun ahead of Father's Day, but we did save, I imagine, the best for last. Tony Lee, his 2 sons, Hudson and Augie, have taken time out of their very busy soccer careers to join us on the KQ Morning Show. This is the only time all summer that they are in the same place at the same time without one of them playing soccer. So thank you both for joining us. Hudson and Augie, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Listen to those two. Just
Cubs.
Good guys right there. So you guys know what we're doing, right? You understand how the Father Aptitude Test works, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. Well, then I've got a series of questions. I'm going to ask you guys about your dad. We'll start off. We'll alternate. I'll call out which guy is supposed to answer, and we'll go down the list, and then we'll see. We'll bring Tony back in, and we'll see how well he and you think you both know him, if that makes any sense. So let's do this. Tony?
I'm out. Good luck, monkeys.
Tony, see you later.
Adios.
All right, now that Tony's not here, guys, let's spill the dirt. No dirt at all. All right, let's start with this one. Easy one. Hudson, what is your dad's favorite band?
His favorite band is the Beatles.
Wow, a lot of love for the Beatles around here, and that makes sense. Did you guys grow up hearing the Beatles a lot in the house?
We have a poster right by us right now.
All right, that's solid. What poster? What era? What are we looking at?
A Hard Day's Night.
Yeah, strong. Yeah. Okay. All right, moving on. Augie, what is your dad's favorite movie?
Cinderella.
What is it? I didn't hear.
North by Northwest.
North by Northwest. Right on.
Was there an elbow jab there? Because I could have swore I heard Cinderella and then a snicker.
Yeah, that's what he said first.
That is what he said for Cinderella. Hudson, then did you give him a jab or are you guys just messing around?
I think he was messing around there.
All right.
That's a good one.
Chip off the old block.
Well, the Cinderella answer confirms that these are Tony's kids on the phone, in case anyone was wondering. All right, that's great. North by Northwest, I got it. All right, Hudson, your dad's favorite sport to watch on TV, what is it?
NFL football.
Fair enough. A long-suffering Vikings fan, I guess.
Yep.
Are you a Vikings fan as well?
Yeah, any sports pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Augie, what kind of grades did your dad get in school?
Probably some B's and A's, especially in English.
B's and A's, especially in English. So, all right, he was getting his work done. I'm glad to hear that.
Or at least that's what he told him.
Yeah, exactly. My kids were both in high school the first time it occurred to them to look at me when I was giving them some nonsense about working hard. And Colin goes, be honest, what kind of grades did you get? And I said, that is not the point here.
Yeah, he knows what that means.
Yeah, you know it. All right, Hudson, what is something you do that irritates your dad?
Well, it's not me. It's not me, but I don't think he likes when August clogs the toilet like every day.
Yes.
All right, that'll work. We'll take that. You just set yourself up for payback, but that's all right. We're going to accept it.
Is he on a different diet than you? What are you guys eating? I love it.
Fantastic. All right, Augie, what is something your dad does to embarrass you?
Sometimes he's like loud in public spaces.
Tony Lee?
Loud in public spaces, like just could it be anywhere, like restaurant or the movie theater, just anywhere?
It could be anywhere.
Wow, that's great. It could be anywhere. The Tony Lee story. All right, Hudson, if your dad's picking the restaurant, where are you going to eat?
This one I couldn't really choose. I know his favorite restaurant, but that's like in Chicago.
Okay. Well, I mean, throw it out there. Hey, we didn't say it had to be in the Twin Cities.
Like Cortino in Chicago. Anywhere with like good pasta,
Ooh. Okay. All right. Strong. Cortino in Chicago. All right, Augie, what is your dad's least favorite food?
I'm going to say onions or like chives.
Onions or chives? Wow. Do you like onions or chives?
No.
No. Probably for the best. Just steer clear. Okay, Hudson, your dad's all-time favorite pet. Who was that?
I'm going to go with Nopsy.
Say that again?
Nopsy.
Nopsy? And what was Nopsy?
Schnapsy, I think that was his dog.
Schnapsy. Okay. All right, got it.
Yeah.
I think I've heard about old Schnapsy back in the day. Yeah. All right, Augie, what will your dad say is the chore or the task around the house that he has the hardest time getting you to do?
Me and him usually pick up after Hudson a lot.
I don't know what he said.
That's strong. All right, we've got that one. All right, guys, 2 left, so you each have one more answer. Hudson, what's the coolest thing you've ever gotten to do because of your dad's job? Like, he is Mr. Radio. What's the coolest thing that ever came from that for you?
Definitely I get to work in his studio and do music in there and stuff. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Definitely a chip off the block there.
Yep, no question about it. All right, Augie, last one. What will your dad say is the ultimate Father's Day gift? Either something you guys have already done in the past on Father's Day or like a dream possible. What would be the coolest? However you want to answer it, go for it.
His dream would be probably Hudson picking up after himself for Father's Day.
All right, that's the ultimate Father's Day gift.
Got to dream big.
That's great. All right, fair enough. Guys, both really, really well done. We've been waiting all week. More than worth the wait, too, I should say. So, all right, I think it's time to get Tony back on the case here.
All right, we're getting him
plug him back in.
All right, here he comes. The proud papa. Yep.
There he is.
How's my boys?
Tony.
How are my boys?
Oh, it was a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man, that seemed like it was 45 minutes.
There was a lot of screaming. There was some elbows thrown. There's some nausea. It was everything you want.
I expect that.
They broke one phone. We had to go to the backup phone.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, here we go. So Tony, and I'll tell you which of your boys answered each question in case just to give you a little insight there.
Okay.
So the first question, Hudson answered, who is your dad's favorite band?
Yeah, well, Beatles.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's
right next to the poster.
Yeah, the Hard Day's Night poster was the
cool
tip-off.
Movie marquee original poster from Rachel's family at a movie theater up in the Iron Range.
Nice. I was the only dad this week that didn't say the Beatles. I wish I would have known.
So it's not too late. You can recant at any time. You're legally allowed to do that. All right, Tony, number 2, Augie was asked, what's your dad's favorite movie?
All-time North by Northwest, Alfred Hitchcock.
Well done. But Augie, do you want to tell your dad? Do you want to tell your dad what you said first?
Cinderella.
Oh, a strong second, of course. Makes me weep. Cinderella.
When he said that, I thought I misheard. I went, I'm sorry, what was that? I forgot who we were dealing with.
He's being a goofball.
Tony's wearing his glass slippers this morning.
Someday, my prince will come.
It is Friday. All right, next up, Hudson was asked, what's your dad's favorite sport to watch on television?
Yeah, basketball close, but I go with football.
Yeah, boom,
Ding, ding,
NFL.
ding, ding, ding. I don't have your sound effects, man.
That's all right.
Sure.
I like the ding, 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 ding. All right, Tony. These are great. Okay, Augie was asked, what kind of grades did your dad get in school?
I didn't do phenomenal. I did well enough to get into college. Then I did better once I was in there. So, I don't know what specifics.
Yeah, I mean, what's the average? What were you looking at?
Probably B.
Okay, Augie. Augie, your answer was what exactly?
There were some A's and B's.
But especially in
English.
English. That's right.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's where I got my best grade.
All right. Well, then we're gonna.
Yeah,
Dad.
I had a class in college called Understanding Everyday Life, and I got a B. What does that say?
It's fantastic. Okay, next up, we asked Hudson, what is something that you do that irritates your dad?
Hudson, if we have to go somewhere, he's always, wait in the car, I'll be right there. And then I'll be in the car for like 20 minutes. He gets ready.
I'm sure that's true, but that is not what Hudson said. Hudson, do you want to share with your father what your answer was?
Yeah, well, I don't really think there's much that I do wrong. I think it's mostly August, and I think he clogs the toilet every day.
I don't know.
Well, that is a daily occurrence. I can't believe he said that. No, I find that soothing.
That was the real laugh we were waiting all morning for.
Yeah, that's the best wrong answer we've had all
Poor
week.
August.
It's great. Well, okay, Augie's up next. What is something your dad does to embarrass you? What do you think Augie said?
Wow, a couple things. I have a tendency, I call them both honey a lot, and I know I have to stop that doing it in front of their friends. They're calling them Augie or Hudsy, and they're Hudson and August. Probably doing like weird characters or voices, just acting odd in public.
Yes, indeedy.
That's the to it. Yeah, ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Augie, what he said was, well, he can be loud in public spaces.
I'm guessing
That was great.
you're singing Cinderella or using one of your voices. Yeah,
it's really good. All right, up next, this is for Hudson. If your dad picks the restaurant, where would you go to eat? It can be any restaurant anywhere.
Wow, I don't usually get to pick. I don't have much of a say in family excursions.
Yeah, but you do right now. This is your turn, Tony.
It would be an Italian place, although I like to go out to breakfast a lot. Mm-hmm. But I'd go with some Italian place.
So, but specifically, name one. It could be anywhere.
Wow, D'Amico.
Okay, not true, not correct, but you were in the zone. Hudson took it down to the Windy City and said Cortino.
Oh my God, what a great memory! Yeah, I love that place.
Yeah,
oh, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just there a year ago.
I already said any place with pasta, so that's a strong half point.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's totally good. All right, Augie was up next. What is your dad's least favorite food?
Oh, easy onions. Ick.
Yep.
Boom.
And chives?
Hate chives.
Yeah.
The consistency, that little snap crunch.
The look on his face right now.
Boy.
Disgust.
Well done, Augie. He said onions or chives. Bang.
Good man.
Okay, Hudson up next. What was your dad's all-time favorite pet?
Oh, wow. I feel guilty
of course.
Because he's a spirit in the sky. It was Schnapsy the dachshund, but my current Lulu the golden doodle has captured my heart as the superstar.
See, that's so sweet. Hudson, what'd you say?
Oh, I said Schnapsy, but I guess it could be Lulu.
He said Schnapsy without hesitation.
Oh, yeah, we're ding ding. We're going to give him that one because you went right
good.
to Schnapsy. Now he's crying over there.
Oh, all right.
Schnapsy.
we're rolling. Augie was asked, what will your dad say is the chore or task he has the hardest time getting you to do?
Getting August to do?
Yeah.
Oh, cleaning up his hurricane aftermath of a room.
Okay, close. Augie, what was your answer?
I said Hudson not picking up after himself.
Oh, you put it on Hud? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what he said.
Solid half point.
Yeah, all right.
Solid half point. All right, Hudson's final question of the day. What's the coolest thing you've gotten to do because of your dad's job?
Oh, he loves to come into the studio and make beats, and Hudson's a very talented music creator.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding,
the
ding,
boys
ding.
both come in and play.
Yeah. Well done. Bingo right there, baby.
All right.
All right, so, man, you're just rolling. All right, Augie, the final question of the day. What would your dad say would be the ultimate Father's Day gift?
That I've ever got? Oh, that's pretty easy. This was just a couple Father's Days ago. Rachel and Hudson and August put on a show for me. It was a puppet show, and they had skits, and they did a story of my life, and I was just bawling.
Oh,
it was
my
beautiful
gosh.
and funny, and they had all the details in there, like a coach I hated, experiences I had, people I've known along the way. It was brilliant.
Yeah. That is
moving.
Beautiful, and
Crushed
nothing
me.
at all what was on August's mind.
Okay.
Not even close. Augie, what did you say?
I said the dream Father's Day gift was to Hudson to clean up after himself.
Yeah, that would be golden as well.
For Hudson to clean up after himself, then the puppet show. Get it right. Well, I'm calling that. That looks like 11 for 12, which means that's, I believe, the best percentage of the week, gentlemen.
My babies.
We got the new champs.
Boy, that was very strong. Hudson and August, a couple of budding soccer stars, taking time out of their busy athletic careers. Thank you both so much for being here. It made this day very special for all of us, and especially your pops.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Oh, so polite. I love you guys. I'll see you a little later.
All right.
Oh.
And you didn't say honey. That was good of you, Tony.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
That was great. That's a great way to run out the side on the Father Aptitude Test. Before I forget, we would love to send you to see Motley Crue at the Louder Than Life Festival this fall. One winner is going to score a trip for two to Louisville, Kentucky for Louder Than Life 2024, featuring 4 days of rock with Motley Crue and a whole lot of other bands. Text the national keyword Tommy to 95819 right now to enter for a chance to win.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.